My advice is slow down. I would think I was kind of fast. I was motivated to do it. Some of the stuff I thought I knew, I really didn't know. So that'd be my advice. Just slow down. Be really serious about it. Learn what you need to learn first. That'll make everything much better.
Welcome to the Brand Hustlers Podcast, where innovation meets ambition and stories of success inspire the next generation of business leaders. Each episode, we dive into the journeys of those who hustle, those who make their dreams a reality, and those who are shaping the future of business. Whether an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned business owner, or simply a dreamer with a vision, you're in the right place. So get ready to ignite your passion, learn from the best, and transform your ideas into action. This is where your brand story begins. Welcome, Brand Hustlers. What's good? What's good? What's good? It's your boy Ryan Roundtree, also known as Tree the Creator. Today we are here, my man Maurice, Cricket Solomon, the Brand Hustlers, baby. So, Brand Hustlers, I'm not sure what episode this is. We're actually kind of just launching. This is the Be More House Bully in the flesh. And funny backstory is we're actually related. We are related, and we found out we were related back in, it had to been 2013, 2014, something like that. And on the fitness scene, brother, even in the fitness realm, I'm going to let him give a little bit more of his story, even with that. But the consistency of him making moves and doing things that he loves, and he had a cult going on with the fitness in the fitness world. And he did a bit in jail, came home. He wasn't even intending on doing fitness as a business, but he was able to flourish, make a name for himself. And next thing you know, some years later, he switched gears. He's investing in the houses. One of his houses right now, just finished the open house. And when I tell you this house is dope, right here in the heart of Baltimore City. I'm not gonna get a location. If you want to give it, that's on him. You know what I mean? But
cool.
On East Oliver Street. But when I tell you, like, he's not just putting houses together to get money. Like, he's attention to detail that's really, really setting him apart in this investment business. I said, my man, Maurice, Cricket Solomon, give us a little backstory on, like, that transition. Because almost like you disappeared. It's almost like disappeared. Next thing you came up, it wasn't long, but, it's like putting the houses together. Like, so if you mind giving a little backstory on.
I appreciate that too, cause like you said, Maurice Cricket Solomon, that's the name that I go by. A lot of people know me as maybe Cricket. From growing up in East Baltimore, Somerset Projects, pretty much down the hill area. Pretty much like, my backstory far as me getting to houses come from another, sacrifice that I kind of, made a strong commitment to doing. And I was working out. I started working out, getting to fitness, while being incarcerated. And of course, like growing up in East Baltimore, growing up in any urban city, you're going through a lot of adversity and things like that growing up. So I was one of the ones who didn't get a break, So during some time in my younger years, growing up in East Baltimore, I experienced going to prison at a young age. And, I was sentenced to like 10 years into the federal prison. And while in prison, I had the time to find myself over the years while in there.
I guess just go ahead and just give me a little bit of backstory, because I think I know a little bit about what was going on. Of course you let me know you got out of jail, and I'm not sure you had lost, like, you was a big dude. You was a big dude, so you lost. I was in my mind, like, you lost over like 100 pounds or something like that. So, give a little backstory as to you being in the fitness realm, and then, like I said, it was almost like you disappeared. Next thing I know, flipping houses, or you became the Be More House Bully. So
yeah, so fitness was kind of like forced on me in a sense. Like I said, during my incarceration years, I gained a lot of weight from just sitting around in the early part of my years, not doing up with my time, stressing, maybe over the time and being young as well. But I was diagnosed with like hypertension, like
Hypertension, yeah,
yeah,
high
like
blood
high blood
pressure. Yeah.
pressure. They had me on like I think like the Central pills for like to help me like go to the bathroom, to like fluid retention or something like that. That was one of the reasons that helped me get motivated to working out. I always played like ball and stuff like growing up, so I was always like athletic in a
Hmm.
sense, but it's like staying away from that for sometimes like you ain't like physically fit like you probably when you was younger. So,
Right.
but I use like the track first, to build my stamina up. My heavier times, I couldn't do push-ups and things like that, so I would just like use blocks, like walking around the perimeter, like the jail, and on every block, I would just do like one or two push-ups, like it's a strength gainer, like just
Hmm.
little small things like that. But it was just little small steps I'll take that'll continue to push me to like, you can do this because I would never see like physically a change like in my body or
Hmm.
like really coming up the scale because, it was something that like I didn't know the ups and downs. Like if you work out every day, you don't know like you gotta like at least eat a little bit right, just try to make
Right.
that at least jump start. So I was like doing some of the things at first and it wasn't doing like other things.
Right.
And like I said, there's one day I just went down there, I'll never forget that, it's like I don't really want to be like going home like worse than I come in. Like that was like that became like my motive. Like, man, just do something like, what I mean? Like now, maybe like 2, 3 years into my bit, like, there's a time to change. So it's like something that's really what's woken me up. It's like, that's one of the things I want to change my
Hmm.
health. Like, what I mean?
So how much did you weigh at your heaviest?
At my heaviest, I probably was about 270, 270-ish. And it wore kind of probably bad in that somebody's, don't see you for a long time. But a lot of times, like the people that worked out, it looked like they worked out, and the people that was like regular people. So a lot of people just like looked at regular because inside of there, at that times the clothes were still big. So I didn't even really know I was that big, until like I said when I was going for my checkups and stuff, and they was like, your weight is, is climbing and stuff. So that was just sport eating, bad, like, stuff they give you in there. You're just taking advantage of that. Like,
Hmm.
what I mean? It's passing time by eating stuff like that. So, but
Right.
like 270, 275 was like my
Okay.
base.
There was a period of time where, and this brother had a coat. It was like
Mhm.
MCS Fitness. I mean, I still in my head, I still know what the logo looked like. You know what I
Maximum
mean?
cardio strength.
Yeah, so, right.
Yeah, the code was maximum cardio strength, MCS.
That was his initials. Don't let him, don't let him tell you. That's some cardio strength. I know what MCS stand for.
Yep.
Um, but he was able, and it wasn't necessarily his intention. Um, I believe to actually even to go in that direction of starting a fitness business. But how did that come about?
Fitness. So upon my release, well, prior to my release, in my fitness heights inside of there, I might have missed all that. But once I got to actually working out, I was working out maybe like 3 times a day. I would wake up like the 5:30, wait for the doors to come out, miss breakfast, go run like maybe 3 miles in the morning, go back, do my little chores or whatever, eat, rest for a little bit, go to school. I think school was 9:30, so I had time to do all that. Jaw open up by 6. Go to school for like 2 hours. We go to lunch break. I go run like 2.5 miles.
He was obsessed.
Yeah, so they was like calling like the reindeer on the compound. A lot of guys like, hey, run the track like a reindeer. Because eventually I was running like 10 miles every day, but some days I would probably run more. But I would break it down like 3.5 mile segments.
Hmm.
So and I eventually like before I came home, I kind of stayed on like inside of there, like didn't have a lot of protein. So just like peanut butter, oatmeal, like homemade protein shakes, bananas. I worked in the kitchen, like
Hmm.
little seasoned cinnamon, stuff like that. I would eat on that, throughout the day. Eat
Yeah.
probably like once or twice a week inside of the kitchen. But when I came home, I try to use that same strategy inside of there out here. And it was kind of different because now I'm exposed to like real foods and stuff like that. And I didn't really know I was really following really like a strict diet, limited to, a lot of stuff. So when I got out here, I never forget, like, people eating and stuff like that. I try to eat like fried chicken and stuff like that. And it's like really like, upset me and things of that nature. So I used to be all around people at first just telling them like, hey, that, no, not saying don't eat this, don't eat that, but like, that's want to make you sluggish, things of that nature. So, you know, preaching how to eat and stuff like that, and eventually going to the parks and showing my face and working out. Eventually, I start to gather people coming around asking could they, work out with me. They never seen some of these type of workouts I was doing. A lot of high intensity type of working out,
Hmm.
fitness.
Before hip was big,
Yeah, a
high
bunch of
intensity work.
high intensity interval training, a bunch of hill running, throwing medicine balls, speed sprints, burpees. Like that was the core of the whole thing. Burpees, supersetting everything, like, using all types of, like I said,
Resistance
resistant
bands. Yeah.
bands. Because we didn't have weights where I come from, but I wasn't really exposed to weights. I was really exposed to
Body weight.
my body weight. And so just running around the gym, running around Montebello, people seeing me running, 15 times around there and it's like coming over there working out and it's talking. That was inspiring a lot of people like, hey, this guy is coming home. That's, really up here doing a lot, like really showing his work. Like, I
Hmm.
didn't have nobody I was really working out with, but
Right.
eventually as people started coming out, I was letting them come out and work out with me for free. As I mentioned before, they eventually started paying, and it was just like a fitness bar or Gatorade, nothing heavy, because I was just trying to give what I can give out to the community. And, a lot of people say, hey, he like a drill sergeant and stuff. And, yeah, so like a lot of people I've worked with, like I would help them, but like I ain't know how to, be at a level to like baby five because
Hmm.
the way when I really got into it, everything was like high alert for me to get the effects and stuff the film I was looking for. So I was given that same energy. And I was one of those trainers that was like not physically hands on with them. I was like working out to motivate them to do the things I was doing.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Work
Like,
out with me. Not. I'm not.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
not
just
just
telling you
telling
what to
you I'm
do. I'm
big,
showing
I'm
you that I'm doing
sweating,
it
I'm
too.
sweating like 10 times more, not in comparison. But like whatever I'm telling you to do, I'm instructing you to do so, but I'm doing it with the
Right.
group or
I'm
whatever.
willing to do it
And that
myself.
was one of the things that a lot of people kind of liked that I provided too, because it wasn't like, hey, he's not over here. It's like he's telling us what to do. He's
Right.
really working out and really like putting the work in.
Right. Multiple times a day.
Multiple
Like,
times a
right.
day.
Right.
Yeah, multiple
More
times a
training
day.
sessions. Right.
Yeah, so
So that's what's up. So I guess, and then it was a time when I feel as though like you disappeared. And no, I know you probably still working out or whatever.
yeah,
But the next thing I recognized was, you starting to do the house flipping or you started
yeah,
to do the full renovations and stuff like
yeah.
that. Like, how did you come into that? And like, where did you get like, I would say the love of real
Yeah,
estate?
that's crazy. So it kind of take it back from working out. So I was working out. I knew that was something I could probably do long term. But at the height of my working out, I was able to establish a gym. And prior to me having the gym, I used to freelance work outside. So I never had an overhead, right? So I guess the gym and now the fitness is really helping pay for the gym. Long story short, um, had the gym for a couple of years. The gym kind of went down the hill. You know, now I have overhead. I have the bills and stuff to pay. Um, I already knew a little bit about real estate prior to coming home, just because like some of the family background, me getting into like electrical, plumbing, and HVAC, like trying to learn trade while I was in there, it kind of like gave me towards real estate. But once me getting to training and getting that building, now I have to have the overhead. That was one of my visions. Like, hey, you might can try to wait, get a building and use fitness, as
Right.
a bigger leverage to, maybe not say get a real estate, but have a real estate,
Have your own building,
yeah,
you
using
actually own a
fitness.
building,
So
right?
that was like one of my first, like, I can probably do that. But then when I got my house and I purchased my house and started to work on that, I realized like real estate had like some type of value just from going through the buying process,
Hmm.
what the banks wanted to give you. You had good credit, bad credit, the value of houses, not, they fixed up or not
Right.
fixed up. So I buys my house and I fix it up. And that instantly gave me the motivation, like, hey, you can do this because a lot of people buy their houses already fixed up.
Right.
So I was able to buy my house, not fixed up to the likeness of a lot of people, to me, and I was able to fix it up. And that was like, hey, that's the spark right there.
Hmm.
So, going through that cycle, like working out, training kind of fell off. And the time that we wasn't like, seeing each other because we did a lot of training, things like that, we would see each other. I was just away from the training, world,
Hmm.
focusing on, real estate from what I thought real estate was. And what that looked like was just like trying to find a way just to accumulate this a house to potentially somehow later come back to fix it up, you know. So, you know, I was able to accumulate a house and, you know, repeat the same
Hmm.
cycle over time. But it's, you know, I'm all over the place, but it's like the love really comes from this like staying consistent to it, like going through the ups and downs. You know, there's a lot of downs I went through, a lot of downs, just understanding it, dealing with contractors,
Hmm.
dealing with people, really people, trusting everybody. Because at the end of the day, like real estate is gonna open up a lot of things, like financially, you're dealing with people with money, you
Hmm.
know. I mean, a lot of people ain't really suited for a lot of the jobs, so you're trying to make things work from the best ability that you
Right.
can based on the knowledge that you know, whatever you know from real estate. Like I ain't grow up knowing real estate, so that's
Hmm.
something I had to really keep digging to
Okay.
learn it. Like, you know, so over time, me keep knocking on the door. Eventually, things start to open up, and now that they open up, I see real estate how I
Okay.
wish I seen it a few years ago. You know,
When did you get started in real estate? Like
so I got started in real estate like 2016,
2016.
2015,
Okay.
16. Like I got into it like 15, but like I really got my hands like really into it like 16.
Okay.
Like,
So right now, if you could give the 2016 version of yourself any advice on real estate, what would it be? Like, hey, hey, you
so
know,
the best,
I see what you want to do.
the best advice I can tell myself, I can say now. I would wish I would have known to say it back then in 2016. Slow down. Don't rush nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, slow down. Like, if you're gonna get into real estate, learn much as you can learn from whoever around you. I'm gonna tell you one thing, and this straight. This is facts. Like, from my experience, there's not a lot of people going to tell you nothing with real estate. Like the people that probably is doing it. Like you might get a couple of pointers because it's like everybody was kind of went through that same cycle. Like
Hmm.
no one ever told me. So it's like with the passion, you know, it's like go through the cycle. You know, like somebody might tell you like get the house. You know, if you're gonna flip it, renovate it, you know, demo it out, put the roof on, put the the basic stuff, put the windows up, secure it. But that's like elementary to a lot of people. If you was an investor, you would probably like that. That's the first thing I'm at least try to do. But no one shows you how to like put together a house. Like, you know what I mean? So that's going to come over time, you
Right.
know. Of course, paying your way in the field, like listening to your contractors, paying for the services, you putting together a house the way how they want their house to be or whatever. You can pay, contractors do that all the time. You're paying on what you want. You're just paying for whatever they
Hmm.
charging you for. But my advice, just slow down. You know, I was kind of fast. I was, like motivated to do it. You know, some of the stuff I thought I knew, I really didn't know. You know, so
Hmm.
that'd be my advice. Just slow down. If you're really serious about it, learn what you need to learn for us. Like the finance part of it, like the house value, the comps, the active repair values and things
Hmm.
like that. That'll make everything much better on the back end. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. So we're sitting here on East Oliver Street
That's
and see the finishes, the tray ceilings. This that was the thing really. So the tray ceilings throughout. You know what I mean? Why put so much detail? Why put so much detail versus being these guys? Let's go in here and they'll do a flip and it's like literally just kind of getting it done.
I think that come over with experience as well. Um, that's like one of my highlights at this point too. But like a few years ago, like to do some of the details, that was like bro, already is like being creative, like trying to show your work. But now over the years, like some of my work that I do, just like it's patenting. So there's not more so much how many details. It's like moving forward as we continue to do houses, just like the
Your
basic.
signature.
It's the
This is.
signature, but it's like the baseline. It's like because the signature now is what you see. Like this for the guys that I work with when we come do the baseline, it is like, hey, what type of designs we doing here?
Mhm.
So over time as I got better with that, I feel more comfortable when I do these. This suits me better for what I'm trying to give out to,
So this, this is the baseline and
for sale. For sale purpose, not
okay, for sale
baseline.
purpose. Got you.
Not this baseline like everything looks like this. But if it's pretty much the flip, the cell, then we're gonna use the baseline model. Like we're gonna try to expose all the walls,
Hmm.
give you all the details, like the
That signature
ceiling.
Baltimore exposed brick.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
signature walls. Now we doing like the railings, horse crown molding. That's something that I'm really big on throughout, like moldings and things of that nature. So when I say baseline, baseline would be like those things are the baseline, but it'd be for to sell a house for
Hmm.
resale purposes.
Gotcha. You've been doing this now since 2016. You've come to a baseline for the for sale purpose
Yes.
homes. What's next for MCS development and the Be More House Bully?
All right, what's next? I want to just continue to thrive using real estate as the baseline. Um, Maybe fix and flip maybe once a year to kind of slow that down, focus more on the whole, gaining more renters,
Okay.
helping more people with subsidized housing. Not say low income families, but families that need housing that can actually pay for it, but not be like,
Right.
all
Super
the way up
high.
here.
Right.
Yeah. So just centralizing what we got to stabilize more affordable housing for the urban community and getting towards that more holding houses, accumulate more to fix and hold to rent out.
Okay.
As far as real estate, as far as overall general, just continue to thrive, man. Stay home based, family oriented, um, positive, and continue to move forward. In a positive way. That's just, there's not a lot of real big goals that I have at this point because a lot of stuff what I'm doing lately, some things I wouldn't even imagine I'd be doing. A lot of my goals, I kind of stepped on them already, not trying to be like, this and that. But yeah, I've been working a lot and a lot of things I accomplished. It might be big goals for other
Oh yeah,
people,
absolutely.
so I'm praised, I'm blessed by measures behind that, so that would really motivate me too, as well. Some of the talks when people call me, ask for motivation
Hmm.
about real estate or credit, things of that nature.
So do you see yourself? Because that sounds like there's some mentorship, opportunities there. There's some teaching,
Yes.
there. Do you see yourself like kind of formalizing like um kind of something where you have some people shadow what you're actually doing, or how do you see
Yeah, I
about?
can probably, as I slow down, I can see myself doing that. I tried it some years ago. It was kind of good. It can get overwhelming as well too, depending on how you
Hmm.
structure whether people shadow you or giving them assets to you. But like in the classroom setting, I can see me, trying to give away as much knowledge as possible, turning to real estate, and as well as shadowing some baby
Okay.
fix and flips and things of
Yeah.
that nature.
Yeah, because my goal is what I'm doing here with the brand hustlers is kind of even taking it back to the very basics of starting a business, things to consider, as far as the market research, like stuff we normally like just kind of skip over. It's
Right.
like, oh, I'm just gonna go, I'm a
Get this
give
and start
articles
it.
of
Yeah.
corporation, what I mean, and I'm just gonna start, what I mean, and a lot of times, yeah, sometimes you just have to start, but I believe to get out of the mom and pop mentality, sometimes you got to like go through those steps of, really doing your research, really, um, figuring out the market, really figuring out where you can fit in the market, where you can really flourish, in that market. So, I know one of my goals is to create a platform where people can come, which is a
Mhm.
community where people can, okay, I need to I need to find out how to get business funding. Okay, sure you got a video for that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Or
Right.
you got a video for it, like let's set up this LLC. Let's set up, what things do I need to put in place if I want to start to get like grant funding and that type of thing. So, and a lot of the funny thing is me going back is realizing that I skipped a lot of steps. You know what I mean?
We all did.
Um,
As well as we, same
and
here.
it's fortifying, what it is that I kind of put in place already. So, what lesson have you learned from your lowest point, and is there anything about it that you're grateful for?
Yeah, maybe got food. Probably one is pretty much, it's probably go across the board. This at your lowest point, you really can't even tell people. Can't talk about it.
Hmm.
I mean, I think at one of my probably lowest points, nobody probably never knew it, but you just can't tell people when you low. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Some in this day and world, people use that for
Leverage, you think? Right.
leverage. You know, so some of my lowest points wasn't good for me. I just say that, but I learned a lot from it by not letting people know what was going on. Because that's why you said, you know, it's like, sure, everything that's not going right, that's not going right. You know, I'm into the house. This person broke into the house, stole this. You know, so I'm just use that for instance. Like at some lowest points I was going through using real estate, telling some people your business is like, hey, you heard what happened? You know, he said something, this happening. And it's like, you know, like, that's funny. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's like financially, I might was going through something that was really hurting me
Mm-hmm.
because I got these goals that I'm trying to do to,
Right.
you know, using real estate to fix up a house, or maybe somebody maybe broken a house, or this need to be done, or somebody maybe done some work for me that wasn't adequate for what I paid, and now I'm, you know, I'm at a low
Double
point talking
backing. Right.
about it, double backing and sharing it with people, my personal stuff that I should be sharing, and you know, they just see that,
Right.
so
So not
yeah, yeah,
not
you
telling all
can't
that's
tell
going
it,
on.
and I'm more not say personal with it, but like for me, my lowest points ain't really come from like this like life. Like, you know, of course we go through like death and all that stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
like for what I'm into now, some of my lowest points come to putting things into what I believed. And that
Mm-hmm.
was like making people be fond of me, like my beliefs. Like I really knew and believed that like real estate is a way to, you know, a way to try to be successful, a way to not only help your family out, opportunity to leave things back, you know, make money, you know, things, all that thing that come with real estate. You know, I seen that tool, and, you know, sharing that information with people that ain't really gonna say it for what you say it for can be like, that's crazy, you know
Right.
what I
You
mean?
try to
So
deter you or
yeah, you
yeah.
know, it's like you say, like if you training somebody and they coming to train you, you trying to motivate them to say let's lose weight. That's the common thing that y'all have in common. So like with real estate, what I realized that a lot of people don't, you know, you ain't gonna share a lot of common things with real estate with people as well when you got two different visions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just like life, you know.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, I ain't gonna keep you too much longer. I know you're tired, you know.
Okay.
Worked all night.
Worked all night.
uh,
I'm definitely good. I'm nervous talking to you because I ain't used to really opening up. So
yeah, yeah, it's all good. I
I
ain't
ain't used
tripping.
to, but I want to be more comfortable in the setting. I'm comfortable like in the setting, but I ain't comfortable this like the first time.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
again,
absolutely. Oh,
I'm more,
this is like I said,
yeah,
this the beginning
yeah,
of the brand hustlers. Yeah, I appreciate you definitely being willing to be one of my first guests.
yeah, man.
Uh, to be honest, you might technically you are my first guest. Because I shot a joint with my boy Tony, and my first episode was with my co-host Ashante,
Okay,
and you know, so those are kind of like not technically, you know,
right.
so this is actually
Yeah, man. I
the
was nervous. I
prior.
appreciate it. I was definitely, you know, nervous, but
It's all good. You deserve it, brother.
I
You've put
appreciate
in the work. Like I said, in multiple disciplines, and I see that when you decide to do when you put your mind to something, like
it.
you gonna see it through. I know that you know even in the fitness realm. And I know I'd say, you know, talk about it jokingly, but you had a coat, my brother. You know what I mean? Like the following it was
It was
crazy.
crazy. Sometimes, like when people go through life, when say like when the opportunity, you know, comes about, sometimes people don't need, you know, don't even know it's really
Right,
there. Like,
right.
you know what I mean? Like that's some people telling you. So just like what the brother was saying, you know, like about the posting thing we was saying before you left the relative about sharing information. Like once you feel as though like you they saying it's that, and it's like, oh, it's that. Like, how do you know it's that, right?
Hmm.
So, but if you keep on thriving,
Right,
it's a can
right.
eventually go. Like right now, like, you know, just to be here in an interview with you, like that feel good, but I don't feel no different because like what I've been doing is
But that's you.
it's
That's
Sean,
you. Right.
you know,
But we see it.
It's
So I'm
Sean,
gonna let you know as we see it. I know I
and
definitely
I
see it.
appreciate that.
Um, and is especially for people. I say Baltimore, like you say, you came up in you know Somerset. You know what I
Somerset
mean? Like
projects, all down the hill,
oh
down
down
there.
the hill. You
Yeah,
know,
all down the projects down there,
and
pretty much.
to make up your mind and to have the discipline enough to be like, I don't want that. You know what I mean?
No.
That's not what I want. That's not what I see from my family. You know, that's not what the direction I want to go in. First is, started with the weight loss. It was like,
Yes.
though you didn't have much knowledge on it, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be consistent in doing this. But then down the line, it'd be like, look out, I came across a property. Oh, wow, that's that makes sense. So,
Makes
starting to
sense.
build something like, okay, all right. But once you started to put the same discipline that you were doing and, putting into like the fitness and the willingness to learn it versus saying, oh, well, I don't know anything about it, and kind of like chalking it up like
Been
a lot
giving
of
up.
people
Yeah, you
do.
could have been giving
Right.
up on it. Just not
But,
having the motivation to just do it every day because you got to do it every
right.
day. Like depending on what you're doing. Like I said, it's just it's only two lanes. It's either like you fixing and flipping them or you holding them to rent them. And like also fixing and flipping, you're gonna be doing more work and
Yeah.
so I'm
Yeah.
working a lot.
But we see it, my brother. Like I said, I appreciate you, saying yes,
Yeah,
like I
no
said, that
problem.
even out of your comfort zone.
Yeah,
But,
it's cool.
I believe that, people out there and whomever may see this will definitely gain some motivation from the Be More House Bully. How can the people find you? Social media. Um, yeah.
Yeah, so social media was More House Bully. Instagram, we got another Instagram page, MCS Development. That's the name of my company, MCS Development. And then Facebook, Maurice Cricket Solomon. So you can find me on one of those sites.
Okay. So, and another thing, so with the MCS and with the apparel you came out with,
Yes.
big on brand. I can see you big on brand. What is the first thing that comes in your mind when you hear the words brand hustler?
So the first thing like come to mind here, brand hustler. I mean, if you brand something, you hustle, you gotta be authentic. You know what I mean? So, I think it's authentic. It's hot. First of all, the name is catchy, but as far as brand hustle, man, like you got definitely be strong to your brand. And hustling is something like if it's in you, it's in you. I can relate to that.
Okay.
I like it.
But it's like how to create social media reels for Instagram, or like things to think about as far as like trying to create viral content or operating the camera, or, outside of a phone. You know what I mean?
Operating the camera,
A lot of my stuff, I would say, of course, the beginning of the information I'm putting out there is more technical, like how to's, the brand hustle, wanting to be a part of growing your brand,
Right.
within the community. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, that's dope.
yeah, man.
Brand hustle. So I looked at it first like branding and stuff, but hustling is something like I say is in somebody. So to me, like the hustler gonna relate like branding itself is what as an entity or whatever is dope too, because really is another identity within itself. And really like a lot of stuff that I'm doing now, I'm doing it through the business of MCS. Like 20 man, dude, this house right here, we trying to sell it for $275, right? I paid $30,000 for this house.
Wow. Appreciate you, my brother.
What's up, brother?
You've been tuning in to the Brand Hustlers Podcast, the sanctuary for ambition, innovation, and the relentless spirit of entrepreneurship. We hope today's journey has fueled your passion, sparked your curiosity, and given you the insights you need to take your brand to new heights. Remember, every big achievement starts with the dream and the courage to hustle forward. Don't miss our next episode where we uncover more stories, strategies, and insights from the world of business. Till then, keep hustling, stay inspired, and turn your vision into victory. Thank you for listening, and remember, your brand's legacy starts right now.